Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today is going to be our part 2 of our Jobs of the Verse video series. And we're going to start off with mining. So mining is going to be possibly a very profitable job that you can do in the Star Citizen universe. And right now, you are capable of doing a lot of stuff with mining, and it's still in the early or infancy of the I guess development of mining. So you have your beginning mining ship, which is right here. This is the Prospector. Then you have your mid-tier mining ship, or next tier, which will be the Argo Mole. And then you'll have your in-game tier, I guess you want to call it. It's not really in-game, but it's the biggest mining vessel that's in the game is going to be the RSI Orion, which hasn't been developed yet, but it's supposed to be capital ship sized and take on some really big asteroids. So with the two mining ships that are in the game right now, the Prospector and the Argo Mole, you have the ability to change out the mining lasers, which I highly recommend you do. Once you make your first 100,000 or so, I would get the Helix laser head for either one of those and throw it on there, because you're going to be able to get those harder to mine rocks, the agricums and things like that. You'll be able to mine those a lot easier, and you'll have a much easier time about it. So I would highly recommend that you do upgrade your mining head as soon as you can. Right now, there's no way to really get upgrades for... Like, you could upgrade some of your components, but it's kind of pointless at this point. So I would wait to do that. But the mining head, you definitely want to upgrade. So in the future, what you're going to do is most likely you will take whatever ore you have mined and take it to a refinery somewhere. Right now you can just take it to the landing zones, the major ones, and offload your ore there, and they will make sure that it gets to some sort of refinery. So you in the future will have to take it probably to the refinery yourself and offload them there. Also, some really neat things about the first two ships that are capable of mining in the game right now is eventually you'll be able to just drop the pods off in space, and somebody else can come pick those up and take them to whatever refinery that they need to take them to for you. So you'll be able to keep on mining, and they'll be able to take up your ore, and you can have a very efficient supply chain there in order to make the most out of your mining claims. So you can mine on planets, you can mine in space. No telling which one's going to be more profitable in the future, but right now it's definitely more profitable on planets. At least I feel like it is. I can also gain a lot more material in a quicker time by doing it on planets at the moment. So that's where I would be if you're mining right now in the game. Obviously that could change every single patch. I know the space mining is kind of broken right now. So a lot of people would actually like to do the space mining, and they do quite well at it, but it's got some issues at the moment. So hopefully with the next patch they'll clear some of that up and bring that capability back into the game. So as far as your mining ships, the Prospector is a solo ship. It's meant for one person to fly, one person to mine, and do all the work, and of course get all of the reward. So it's a single flyer from MISC. It's a capable ship. I mean, this morning I did this mining run here. Actually, I did in about 30 minutes worth of total time, and I was able to get 70,000 worth of credits, and I wasn't super picky. I did find a lot of agricum, but I also took on a few inert materials which gave me very little, and aluminum in one rock. But in 30 minutes I was able to make 70,000 credits, so that's pretty good. That's pretty legit. You know, it's hard to recommend against doing something like that. It's a good way to make money. I would say that 140,000 credits in an hour is right up there with the top ways to earn money in the verse. Yeah, the other way would be cargo running. We'll get into that in another video, which we've talked about before. We've talked about mining before, but I wanted to be a little bit more in depth on what the mining gameplay is going to be, what it's about. Last time we went more into the technical aspect of, how do you mine, how do you scan, what do you do when you get this rock, etc. For most of you guys who are mining, I do recommend that right now in the game you mine the higher priced ores. There's great guides out there that will tell you which ones are the best one. I would actually Google Star Citizen mining guide, and it should prop up with probably the best guide out there. So that's something I would definitely look into. It tells you everything you need to know about mining. They've done a fantastic job with that. So that's the one I would look at. It tells you how much each one of the ores is worth, and it kind of tells you, it gives you a good idea of when you want to mine or when you want to extract ore and when you just want to leave it alone. I do recommend that if you're going for the higher ores, that you try to get rocks that are 100% or pretty high in percentage when it comes to extraction time, because you're going to make a lot more money when you do that. If you're just getting it and it's like 20%, laranite and the rest is inert, you're really not going to make as much money as you could, obviously, if you're having 100% laranite. So, yeah, when you mine, be stingy. Wait for the good rocks and wait for the high percentage yield. You'll make a lot more money that way, and you can still do it in a relatively good, fast amount of time. I'm on yellow right now doing the mining in this video. Very good place to mine on the planet itself. The asteroid's outside it, it's okay, except for it's broken right now. Aberdeen's a pretty good place to mine. I think Walla might be a really good place to mine. So some of the planets have some pretty good minables on there. You just have to, be patient, find the rocks that you really want to mine, the ones that are going to pay you the most, and go with it. So the Argo Mole is a multi-crew ship, a multi-person ship. Technically, you can have up to 4 people running that ship. You're going to have a pilot and then 3 laser operators. That's the ideal setup for that ship. So you have 3 mining lasers that you can use on that ship, and they can all converge on one rock, or they can do their own separate rocks. So a lot of times when you're doing these minings on these planets, you may come across 7, 8 rocks all in a little area that you can mine. Or you may split one rock like this and have multiple ones that you need to split down even further. So having the Argo Mole can really make things quicker when you're mining if you have it fully crewed. The other issue with that, though, is that you're going to have to split your money, which cuts into your profits quite a bit. Theoretically, you can mine quite a bit faster and carry much more cargo. So a 30-minute run in an Argo fully crewed could yield you, like 3 times the amount of money, but you split it 4 ways. So I don't know. There's not a direct comparison, a good one anyways, out there. It's kind of hard to compare that because the rocks are a little bit random. So it's a theory and nothing more. I still think that you can make a lot of money with the mole, but having 4 people on your crew, 3 other people other than you, is really going to cut into your profits unless they just want to be nice and let you have all of it. Which, this game's pretty cool about that. The community's pretty cool about that, so that could happen. But I would only take like 1 other person with you maybe, and 1 person does the flying scanning, the other person does the mining and extracting. Right now, that would probably be the most profitable route to go in the Argo Mole. Then you can just split your profits 50-50. That's what I would suggest. No need to bring along 2 extra people to kind of split the profits, because the end result's going to be less money. Whereas 2, that's probably a good juicy number for the mole to make the most money out of it. If you get a patch of a lot of rocks, you can always leave the pilot seat and go down to one of the other lasers and do some mining yourself. Now you also, if you're going to upgrade the laser heads, the mining heads, it's going to be more expensive to upgrade all the mining heads on the mole, because you've got 3 of them. So it could cost up to 300,000 credits plus. So it could be a lot more expensive upkeep when it comes down to it. So something else to keep in mind. A lot of people will only upgrade one laser, at least one at a time, but only upgrade one laser, and that's the one that they're going to run, whether it's with a crewmate or just by themselves, and that'll get the job done. It saves you some money and some upkeep, really. So that also brings us to the next size mining ship, which... So we go from the Prospector to the Mole. The size of the ships themselves is not a big leap. I really think there's going to be a middle-sized ship in between the Mole and the Orion. I think there really needs to be a middle-sized ship between those two, because the Orion's going to be massive. We're talking like the size of a Javelin almost. I mean, it's huge. It's like 300 meters long or something. But it also has refining capability. So you're going to have a lot of crewmen, because you're going to need a lot of crewmen. Some of them are going to have to run tractor beams. Some of them are going to have to run the mining lasers. Some of them are going to have to run the refining capabilities. Some are going to have to do the scanning. There's going to have to be a pilot. So there's all sorts of different roles that you're going to need for that ship. AI can do a lot of that. You could hire some NPC crew to help you, sure. But you may get the most out of having a PC crew. I personally will probably run NPCs on it. We'll just have to wait and see. My org keeps growing, so I may have some guys that want to do some of that work. We'll have to see. But you're also going to have to pay those people. But with a ship the size, that 300 meters long, think of the amount of credits you're going to make by just demolishing whole asteroid fields with that thing. You could bring in a lot of credits. We're talking chump change of the Argo is going to be chump change compared to the Orion. It's not even going to be close. So it's definitely going to be worth, the time and effort that you put into an Orion to get the stuff that you're going to get out of it, because you're going to get a lot of money from running it. At least that's my theory right now. So if you're paying NPCs or PC players, it's probably still going to be worth it. Of course, you'll have to figure out a good split. You may want more of the profits because you got a much bigger ship to upkeep, and everybody else is just, helping with the mining process. So that's something you might want to think about if you have an Orion right now, or if that's the ship that you really want to get into. How much is upkeep going to be on that thing? How much are you going to have to pay your crew members? I bet you're still going to have such a good profit on that thing that you're going to be able to afford to split, your reward, so to speak, pretty nicely with your crew members. But that will be a ship that will refine its own ore. You won't have to take the ore to a refinery. It should be able to do that right there on board, and then you can just sell it at different places, factories, or wherever. Of course, that ship's nowhere near in sight for being in the game, which is unfortunate. They don't really have the gameplay for it yet either, so understandable. It'll come along eventually. Right now, I'm happy with the 2 mining ships that are in the game. You guys leave a comment and let me know how you're liking mining, how you're liking the ships that are in the game, and what do you think about the gameplay for the Orion, how it's going to go, in the future. And do you think there needs to be another mining ship between the Orion and the Mole? I really do. So leave that comment down below. Leave me a like if you like the video. Hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Absolutely love all the people that have subscribed lately. I really do appreciate all the subscribers that have come along. And I'm going to do a giveaway soon, I promise. Stay tuned for that. I've got more of these type videos coming up about jobs as well. So I hope you guys tune in for that as well. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.